Now this was an interesting release. Not quite what I was expecting, especially when it was such a hype shoe. And yet, there was a lot of supply. Anyhow, it's time to do this review. Let's get into it. G'day guys, and welcome to another shoe review. I'm Tim, and today we've got a very long awaited review here. This shoe's been out for weeks, and surprisingly it's actually been sitting on shelves for quite some time. I thought it would be a very hard to get one, much like some of the previous ones, but it was not the case with this one. And if I'm not wrong, some of the pairs are still sitting on Foot Locker website now, which is very much a surprise. So I guess we better bust open the shoe. So this is shoebox, still in its packet, still obviously in. I managed to get this from, I believe, Subtype in their raffle. It was actually a weird release because I entered, I think, 2 raffles. Actually, no, 2 or 3 raffles. Culture Kings, Subhype, and I was going to enter Foot Locker, but I chose not to. And I managed to win on Subtype, and then I realised on the Foot Locker website that they were still sitting there the morning of the release. I was like, that's not a good sign. Ideally, I just want to wear one pair or win one pair, not multiple. So there was no point in having more than one. And then fantastically, I landed another win through Culture Kings, but I'd already got my pair, so there was no point. But anyhow, enough of that. We'll get into the shoes. So this is from Subhype. It's quite nice, isn't it? Quite interesting packaging. This is the actual shoe box, so we'll take that out. And interestingly enough, I've actually got a bag here, which is pretty cool. A nice little thing for to come along with the packaging. So as you can see, Subtype. So that's the box. And yeah, they put this bag in there with it, so that's pretty cool. So I can use that for shopping, I guess, when I go down to Safeways and Coles to get my groceries. So that'll, I suppose, come in handy for that purpose. But anyways, enough about that. Let's get into the shoe. So this is the Air Jordan 5 Raging Bull, aka Toro Bravo, and as you can see, it's in a different box. It's usually just your normal black lid with your cement print around the bottom sort of box. Got the Jordan brand there, and yeah, this one's a bit different. So and these are a size 8, I believe, if it's going to focus there for me, ideally. There we go. And yeah, so anyways, size 8, and these retailed for $260. So I got them from Subtype for $260 plus, I think it was $10 shipping, so it worked out to be about $270. So I was pretty happy getting them for retail, but then again, when there was so many pairs, I guess it was just the way it was. So let's pop it open, and as you can tell, very red. Very, very red. So I'll get the right side out. Shut that. Anyway, so yeah, this is the Air Jordan 5 Raging Bull, aka Toro Bravo. So this is quite a one of those. This Air Jordan 5 colorways actually reached back in 2009, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know a massive history about it, but it was a lot. It was part of a pack. We got 2 in the pack, and this was one of them. There was 2 Air Jordan 5s, I believe, Air Jordan 5s. A black one, or one with 3M or upper, and then this one. As far as I'm aware, this one was the more popular one. But yeah, so it's all suede upper, and then obviously you got the black lace locks and that. It's not a bad suede, it's quite nice. And Jordan Jumpman on the back there. Yeah, it's not overly thick. It's pretty much like the purple grapes, the alternative grapes that came out a little while back, and it's very similar to the Air Jordan 5 Wattas that came out. The red shoe on the, I think the left shoe in that release, very similar to that. But yeah, it was the first version of this, back in 2009. Very hard to come by now. It was very hard to get as well. It's quite expensive. So I reckon there's going to be a lot of, I suppose, annoyed people out there that have that pair. And now that this is released, it's kind of like potentially taking the value from that one. But yeah, so as you can see, the 23 on the bottom there, on the heel, icy, nice blue outsole, and you've got the red teeth there. Yeah, suede upper. I think, yeah, it's pretty sure it's a suede upper. Silver reflective 3M tongue, and then obviously the little lace lock there. So yeah, so $270 was the retail price, $270 Australian, and yeah, I guess I was glad to get them, and like I managed to be able to return my other pair that I won just because I didn't need to. But I guess I just had to enter a few raffles to increase my chances of actually getting them, not realizing how many pairs were actually available. A lot. So yeah. Anyways, so we'll jump onto the little round table, and we'll get a close up look, and go from there. All right. Alright, so we're down on the little round table. There's a nice little close-up look, and yeah, as you can see, it's a relatively nice suede on it. Nice bright red, that's for sure. And then you've obviously got, you can see the 23 there, and obviously the red shark teeth from the plane, inspiration from the plane, and obviously the clear side knitting there, and the black lace locks, and yeah, the obviously the red suede is not overly long, but long enough. There's a little bit of colour changing there, but not a lot. But yeah, it's quite bright, so it certainly jumps out, and obviously a 3M tongue there at the top. But yeah, it's not a nice, quite a nice shoe. As I said, I thought they'd be hard to get, but they actually released a lot of them. And as far as I'm aware, they're still sitting on Foot Locker website in a couple of sizes. So that was quite a surprise. I was a bit worried that I'd win quite a few pairs and not be able to either return them or be able to sell them. I knew there wasn't going to be any, I suppose, resale on them, simply because there were so many pairs and people could quite easily just go into Foot Locker and buy it themselves. So I thought, well, there's no point in trying. So I managed to be able to return one pair to Culture Kings, and I obviously kept this pair. I definitely will aim to wear these because I find the Air Jordan 5s to be quite comfortable on foot, and they've got plenty of ankle support, and I tend to go for them a bit more over the low shoes now, just because ankle tends to play up a bit when it doesn't really have that support. So yeah, very nice shoe all around, easy to rock, and obviously you got the that blue icy outsole, which is quite nice. I suppose it stops it from yellowing after lots of wears as quick, so it tends to stay nice for a little bit longer. But yeah, so yeah, it's quite a nice shoe all around. Interestingly enough, that's actually usually the other way around and upside down. So I don't know why that's like that, because usually, from what I've understood, usually that's upside down. So back in the days, they used to flip the tongue, bend the tongue around the front so you could read it upside down. But I don't know about the Air Jordan 5s, whether that had the same sort of deal.
I think the Air Jordan 4s is like that. I'm not sure about the Air Jordan 5. But yeah, I usually go size 8 in these. Just go half down half size because I have a medium to narrow width foot. And it just seems to fit quite nice. That was just through trial and error, unfortunately. Buying Air Jordan 5s and realising they're a bit too big, so I had to go down the next size. Luckily enough, I was able to sell some of those pairs and go and get the pairs I actually was after. So yeah. Anyhow, so we'll get back on in front of the camera and we'll finish this review off, eh?
Alright, so yeah, back in front of the camera, and as I said, I believe it was April 23rd they released for $260 Australian dollars, so I managed to get them for $270, which was awesome. That's April 26th, yeah, April 26th. So I managed to get them from Subtype, and they released Culture Kings, Foot Locker, and probably still sitting on Foot Locker as far as I'm aware, a couple of sizes. So yeah, I went half size down with these to size US 8, and just because I've got a medium to narrow width foot, so it fits just that bit better. And they're actually, as I said earlier in the review, they're actually similar to the What the 5s. And what I mean by that is, I'll show you the left shoe, and this is what's kind of made me wonder whether or not to keep them or not, or whether or not to keep the What-thers or keep these, because the left shoe is pretty much almost identical. Just the yeah, as you can tell, just the outsole is a different colour with the green and black instead of the icy blue, and obviously the tongues this similar, but just with the green Jumpman on that one and the black on that one, just because this is paying homage to a few other colorways of the Air Jordan 5 all mixed up. And then obviously you got the logo there on the side, and obviously the 23 on this one, whereas there's no 23 on this model here. And obviously you got the ballet inside, the ballet styling in there, and obviously the general black on the inside in there. So there's a few differences, but apart from that, they're pretty much identical. Obviously, apart from those different colours, but yeah, apart from that, they're pretty much identical. So I'm debating whether or not to maybe palm these off, because they're going to be a lot harder to, I suppose, wear with clothes, because they are loud. But the other side of the two is a yellow shoe. I quite like the fact that it's different, but whether or not I'll wear these as much as these, that's a whole other question. So anyhow, so that's the end of the review, and yeah, so it's, feel free to leave a comment, and I'll leave a comment, subscribe, leave a comment on what you think. Did you manage to cop them? What your thoughts on the shoe, the colorway, and yeah, anyways, yeah, I kind of haven't really got many releases lately, just been putting mine towards other things. So yeah, anyways, thanks for watching. Feel free to comment, subscribe, and leave your thoughts. And thanks for watching, and till next time, take care.